9 edible plants you can find in the woods to boost immunity. Did you know that there are many wild edibles in North America that can boost immunity? By the time you finish watching this, you will know exactly which ones to look for, should you find yourself in the woods either in an emergency situation or just out hiking and you feel a cold coming on. There are so many wonderful wild edibles that you can eat while foraging in the woods and even in urban settings, that have more vitamin C than the average orange. For reference, 100 grams contains about 53 milligrams of vitamin C. One nutrient the human body cannot produce by itself is vitamin C. We must get a digestible source from nature, especially when you can't just go to the grocery store and buy some vitamin C packets. Of course, you could put a handful of commercially produced packets inside your bug-out bag as a backup, but instead, here are 9 options you should be able to easily identify in the woods that contain high sources of this immune-boosting vitamin. Get out there and try to find and positively identify any of these plants where you live so that if you need them, you know where to find them. Remember, always use caution and cross-reference while foraging, because some wild edibles can make you sick or even kill you. Number 1 Dog Rose, Rosa canina. Though it doesn't look like a typical rose, this beautiful wild edible won't be hard to spot. Its 5, slightly heart-shaped petals can be white or pink with a plentiful center of yellow stamens. It is a deciduous shrub, so it's closer to the ground than the typical rose bushes would be. It has thorns, of course, and its leaves are green and serrated. Like typical roses, it blooms in spring. With the dog rose, you can safely consume all of its parts, leaves, petals, root and fruit, which is the oval-shaped rose hip that ripens in the fall. The best thing about the dog rose is, compared to the 53 milligrams of vitamin C you'll find in 100 grams of oranges, this plant contains a whopping 1,250 milligrams of vitamin C per 100 grams serving. Number 2 Blue Spruce Pine, Picea pungens. Blue spruce pine trees are relatively easy to spot if you know what you're looking for. These pine trees are conifers, so they stay green, even in winter, and they are mostly found in the west from Wyoming all the way out to the Oregon coast. They have short pine needles and the new growth on them appears to have a blue tinge, making them relatively easy to identify. Red spruce pine trees, which are more common in the east, near the Adirondack Mountain area, are also a good source of vitamin C and look very similar to the blue spruce. However, the needles are more of a warm green and the branches are slightly shorter. The needles of both have a pleasant taste and you only need a handful to give you the immune-boosting vitamins. If you find yourself and your family out in the woods and in the cold, you can chew on them or boil them in water to make tea. Comparatively speaking, the vitamin C content in both the blue and red spruce pine needles averages about 169 milligrams per 100 grams serving. Number 3 Garlic Mustard, Alliaria petiolata. This edible weed is considered an invasive species in the Pacific Northwest, which means it will probably be very easy to find in the West, but it can also be found across the country. The greens have substantial amounts of vitamin C, E, A and even B vitamins. It also contains substantial amounts of minerals including potassium, calcium, magnesium, copper and selenium. The leaves, flowers, roots and seeds are all edible. Though its flowers don't appear until May, the leaves can be eaten all year round, except during the hot summer months, when the greenery will taste more bitter. It has a garlicky smell and taste, and it can be added to savory dishes, dressings, and salads, but if you come across it during an emergency, you can feel confident just eating any part of this plant to boost your immunity. The vitamin C content of garlic mustard is about 190 milligrams per 100 grams serving. Number 4 Common Blue Violet, Viola sororia. There are many violet look-alikes, so with this one, always make sure you are 100% sure you have found the common blue violet. This pretty weed is very common in the central and eastern U.S. and it goes by a few names including but not limited to the purple violet, hooded violet and the lesbian flower. Regardless of the name though, the Cherokee people ate the purple flowers to treat colds and headaches, which should give you some confidence that finding this beauty in wooded areas can be of use if you need an immune boost. Common blue violet will deliver an average of 130 milligrams of vitamin C per 100 grams serving. Number 5. Lamb's quarters, Chenopodium berlanderi, also called pitseed goosefoot. You can find this plant almost anywhere, in the Americas and as far north as Canada. To some, it's a weed, to others it's a nutrient-dense wild food. It can grow to be 4 feet high, has serrated lower leaves and has clusters of seeds that resemble little broccoli-like flowering shoots. It's a close relative to quinoa and its leaves can be eaten, and tastes a bit like spinach. This is an incredible plant because it is packed with essential vitamins and minerals. It's a great source of vitamin A, and also B-complex vitamins including niacin, thiamine and riboflavin, which all play a vital role in your metabolic functioning. In addition to these nutrients, lamb's quarters is also an excellent source of vitamin C, containing 130 mg per 100 grams serving. Number 6. Elderberry, Sambucus. The elderberry is a deep purple color rich in anthocyanins, which is the compound responsible for its deep color. Though the ripe cooked berry from this tree is edible, the leaves, stems, roots and flowers can be toxic, so do not eat them. Eating the berry raw can cause illness and nausea due to its high cyanogenic glucoside content, so the berries must be cooked, not steamed, not juiced, not made into tea, but cooked, fully. Finding elderberry while foraging may not be as easy as some other high-nutrient plants, but if you're lucky enough to stumble upon an elderberry shrub, keep in mind that it may be up to 15 feet tall. Its compound leaves are oblong in opposing leaflets on the stem. The berries when ripe are deep purple and almost black in color and are formed in small, umbrella-shaped clusters. The berries contain about 116 mg of vitamin C per 100 grams serving. Number 7. Shepherd's purse, Capsella bursa pastoris, another relatively easy to identify nutrient-dense wild edible as shepherd's purse. It got its name because the pods or fruit of this plant resemble small heart-shaped purses. The lore is that its name was derived from the time when shepherds from the 1600s would carry their food and drink in leather pouches tied with string that looked like purses, and the plant fruits are very similar in likeness. It's part of the mustard family of plants with leaves that resemble dandelion leaves in that they have deeply toothed leaves at the base. Its flowers are white and small with 4 petals and the flowers bloom in small clusters. Unlike most flowering plants, shepherd's purse can flower all year long. The pods contain seeds that are mucilaginous and can taste peppery, but aside from that they contain 91 mg of vitamin C per 100 grams serving. Number 8. Mock strawberry, Duchesnea indica, also called false strawberry. This plant is a ground creeper that resembles true strawberries. The major differences between the mock strawberry and a common strawberry are, with mock strawberries the flowers are yellow as opposed to pink or white, as with common strawberries. Also, the fruit is much smaller in size and shaped like a globe with protruding ovaries that contain a single seed, whereas true strawberries are larger and the seeds lay flat with the surface of the fruit. Additionally, mock strawberries, although edible, apparently have little overall flavor and are not very juicy. Of course, flavor is not solely what we're going for in an emergency situation, but luckily mock strawberries do contain 70 mg of vitamin C per 100 grams serving. Number 9. Dandelion, Taraxacum, one of the most common and pervasive edible weeds of them all, the mighty dandelion, can be found in your yard, popping up through the cracks on city streets as well as in the wild. All of the parts of this amazing weed are edible, including the very identifiable yellow, multi-petaled flowers, green leaves and deep roots. They seem to survive some of the harshest conditions and are one nutritionally dense, purposeful and hard-to-kill weed. The leaves are bitter to the taste buds, and the root is quite fibrous. The flowers, leaves and root can be eaten raw or cooked, or dried. There are a couple of look-alike dandelions out there to be considered false dandelion and are referred to as cat's eyes or pussy toes and hawkweed. They both have similar flowering patterns and seed heads, but the most distinguishing difference are the leaves. True dandelion leaves are smooth, whereas these fakes typically have hairy leaves. Dandelion is not only a source of vitamin C, about 38 mg per 100 grams serving, but it is also a good source of vitamins A, K, E and even small amounts of B vitamins. The leaves contain additional minerals like iron, calcium, potassium and magnesium. So, there you have it. 9 plants you can forage that will provide you with vitamin C and other important nutrients, should you find yourself in an emergency situation and you need an immunity boost. Now, get out there and try and find a few of these amazing plants where you live, so if you ever have to survive in the woods, you can go with confidence knowing at least you can find this critical nutrient. Thanks for watching. Share this video with someone you love and with your friends, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel and click that notifications bell icon. We'll see you on the next frontier.